Hello there. It's good to spend this time with you. Let's talk about something that touches the lives of many of us as we navigate our later years. Living with or adapting to a disability. Perhaps you've noticed that certain tasks feel a bit more effortful than they once did. Maybe getting up from your favorite chair requires a little more planning, or perhaps following conversations in a noisy room isn't as effortless as it used to be. These shifts, big or small, are incredibly common experiences as we age. Sometimes, these changes are simply part of the natural rhythm of life. Other times, they might signify the onset or progression of what we broadly call a disability, a condition that affects your ability to do certain activities or interact with the world around you in the way you're accustomed to. It's a topic that can feel sensitive, perhaps even a little daunting. The word disability itself can sometimes carry baggage, conjuring images that might not resonate with your own experience. But really, when we talk about disability in the context of aging, we're talking about a vast spectrum of experiences. It could involve changes in mobility, maybe due to arthritis, a past injury flaring up, or conditions like Parkinson's disease. It might be related to your senses. Perhaps your vision isn't as sharp, making reading or recognizing faces from afar more difficult. Or maybe hearing loss makes phone calls or social gatherings a source of frustration rather than joy. For others, the challenges might be cognitive, difficulties with memory, planning, or concentration that can arise from various conditions, including mild cognitive impairment or dementia. And let's not forget emotional well-being. Conditions like depression or anxiety can significantly impact your daily life and are just as real and deserving of attention and support as any physical ailment. Sometimes, these disabilities are things you've lived with for many years, perhaps decades, and now you're navigating them alongside the other changes that come with getting older. Other times, they might be relatively new, appearing in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or even later. Regardless of how or when a disability becomes part of your life, it's crucial to understand that you are absolutely not alone in this experience. Millions upon millions of seniors around the world are navigating similar paths. The statistics clearly show that the likelihood of experiencing some form of disability increases significantly with age. This isn't said to frighten you, but rather to normalize the conversation. It's not a personal failing. It's often a consequence of living a long life, during which our bodies and minds naturally undergo changes. Chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, respiratory issues, or the lingering effects of a stroke can all contribute to functional limitations. The interplay between aging and disability is complex. Sometimes aging exacerbates an existing condition, and sometimes age-related changes lead to new challenges. Facing these changes can bring a whirlwind of emotions, and it's perfectly okay to acknowledge them. You might feel frustrated when tasks that were once simple now require more time or assistance. Perhaps there's a sense of loss, grieving the ease of movement you once had, or the sharpness of senses you took for granted. Worry about the future is common too. Concerns about maintaining independence, managing healthcare costs, or potentially becoming reliant on others. You might even feel a sense of isolation, especially if mobility or communication challenges make it harder to engage socially as you once did. These feelings are valid. They are human, and they deserve to be treated with compassion, both by others and, importantly, by yourself. But alongside these challenges, there often lies incredible resilience. Think about the adaptations you've already made, the strength you've shown in facing difficulties throughout your life. That same inner resourcefulness is still within you, ready to be tapped into as you navigate this chapter. The most important message I want to share with you right from the start is this. Experiencing a disability as a senior does not mean your quality of life has to diminish irreparably. It does not mean an end to joy, connection, purpose, or independence, though it might mean finding new ways to achieve and experience these things. The landscape of support available today is broader and more accessible than ever before, designed specifically to help seniors like you live safely, comfortably, and meaningfully, even with limitations. The key is knowing where to look and understanding what options are available to you. That's precisely what we're going to explore together in our conversation. Think of this as a roadmap, a guide to understanding and accessing the support systems that can make a real difference in your daily life. In our next chapter, The Main Body, we will delve deep into the practicalities. We'll talk about the different kinds of support available, from help with everyday tasks within your own home, modifications that can make your living space safer and more accessible, to transportation services that help you stay connected to your community. We will explore the financial assistance programs that might be available to help offset the costs associated with healthcare, assistive devices, or personal care. We'll also look at the crucial role of social and emotional support, discussing community resources, support groups, and ways to maintain vital connections with family and friends. Furthermore, we'll touch upon the ever-evolving world of assistive technology, devices and tools designed to help overcome specific challenges related to mobility, vision, hearing, memory, and communication. Navigating these systems can sometimes feel overwhelming, like trying to piece together a complicated puzzle. But by breaking it down, understanding the different types of help available, and knowing who to ask, you can gain a sense of control and find solutions that truly fit your individual needs and circumstances. This journey is about adaptation, finding new strategies, and leveraging the resources around you to continue living a full and engaged life. It's about focusing on what you can do, empowering yourself with knowledge, and remembering that asking for and accepting help is a sign of strength, not weakness. So, let's embark on this exploration together, with hope and a focus on possibilities. There is support out there, and you deserve to access it. All right, now that we've acknowledged the common experience of navigating disabilities in our later years and set the stage, let's delve into the heart of the matter, the types of support that are actually available to help you live well. Think of this as opening a toolbox. Inside, you'll find various tools designed to address specific needs, making life safer, easier, and more enjoyable. We'll explore several key areas, and I encourage you to consider which of these might resonate most with your own situation or that of someone you care about. First, let's talk about support right within the comfort of your own home. For so many of us, home is our sanctuary, the place where we feel most secure and ourselves. The idea of having to leave home due to increasing difficulties can be deeply distressing. Thankfully, a wide array of home and community-based services, HCBS, exists precisely to help you maintain your independence where you most want to be. What does this look like? Well, it can range from simple assistance with daily tasks to more comprehensive care. Imagine having someone come in for a few hours a week to help with things that have become physically demanding, perhaps housekeeping chores like vacuuming, laundry, or changing bed linens. Maybe grocery shopping and preparing nutritious meals feels overwhelming. Homemaker services can take that burden off your shoulders. Then there's personal care assistance, which offers help with more intimate tasks like bathing, dressing, grooming, or getting in and out of bed safely. This isn't about taking away your abilities, it's about providing just the right amount of support to bridge the gap between what you can comfortably manage and what feels like a struggle. Think of someone like Martha, a vibrant woman in her late 70s With worsening arthritis in her knees and hands, she found herself skipping meals because standing to cook was painful, and avoiding social outings because dressing herself had become a frustrating ordeal. She felt her world shrinking. Reluctantly, she agreed to try having a personal care aide visit 3 mornings a week. This aide helped her shower and dress, prepared simple breakfasts and lunches, and even tidied the kitchen. It wasn't long before Martha rediscovered her energy. Freed from the physical strain and frustration of these specific tasks, she had more stamina for activities she enjoyed, like tending her small balcony garden and meeting friends for coffee. The support didn't diminish her independence. It restored it by allowing her to focus her energy where it mattered most to her. Home health aides can also play a role, particularly if you have specific health needs. They might assist with medication reminders, check vital signs like blood pressure, help with prescribed exercises, or provide basic wound care under the supervision of a nurse. The beauty of these services is their flexibility. They can often be tailored to your specific needs, schedule, and budget. Finding these services usually involves contacting your local area agency on aging, your state's Department of Health or Human Services, or reputable private home care agencies. It's wise to ask questions about staff screening, training, supervision, and insurance. While cost can be a factor, we'll touch on financial assistance later, many find the investment invaluable for preserving their autonomy and safety at home. Related to staying safe and comfortable at home is the crucial area of home modifications and assistive technology. Sometimes, the biggest barriers you face aren't internal, but environmental. Your own home, once perfectly suited to your needs, might now present obstacles due to changes in your mobility, vision, or balance. The good news is that many homes can be adapted, often with surprisingly simple changes. Think about installing grab bars in the bathroom, beside the toilet and inside the shower or tub. These provide crucial stability and can dramatically reduce the risk of falls, which are a major concern for seniors. Widening doorways slightly might make navigating with a walker or wheelchair much easier. Replacing standard doorknobs with lever handles can be a huge help if you have arthritis in your hands. For stairs, which can become a significant challenge, options range from adding sturdy handrails on both sides to installing a stair lift, allowing you to glide safely between floors. Consider improved lighting, especially in hallways, stairwells, and work areas like the kitchen, to compensate for vision changes. Removing throw rugs or securing their edges can prevent tripping hazards. These aren't necessarily massive renovations. Often, small adjustments make a world of difference in maintaining your safety and confidence moving around your own space. Alongside modifying the environment, there's a vast world of assistive technology, devices designed to help you perform tasks you might otherwise find difficult. For mobility, this includes canes, walkers with seats and brakes, manual or power wheelchairs, and scooters. For vision loss, think large print books and keyboards, magnifiers, from handheld to electronic, screen reading software for computers, and audiobooks. Hearing aids have become incredibly sophisticated, filtering background noise and even connecting to smartphones. There are amplified telephones, flashing alerts for doorbells or smoke detectors, and personal listening devices. For medication management, automatic pill dispensers can remind you and dispense the correct dose at the right time. And don't forget, personal emergency response systems, PERS, those pendants or wristbands with a button you can press to summon help immediately in case of a fall or other emergency. They offer immense peace of mind, both for you and your loved ones. Increasingly, mainstream technology like voice-activated smart speakers, like Alexa or Google Home, can help you control lights, thermostats, make calls, or get information simply by speaking. Consider George, who developed severe knee pain after surgery. His bedroom was upstairs, and the thought of navigating the stairs multiple times a day filled him with dread and pain. He started spending most of his time confined to the ground floor, feeling cut off from half his home. His daughter researched stair lifts, and after an assessment, they had one installed. George described it as life-changing. Suddenly, the upstairs was accessible again without pain or fear. He could sleep in his own bed, use his upstairs hobby room, and feel like he had his whole house back. Accessing these modifications and technologies often starts with an assessment, perhaps by an occupational therapist, OT. OTs are experts at evaluating how you function in your environment and recommending specific adaptations or devices to improve your safety and independence. They can help you navigate choices and sometimes assist with justifying the need for insurance coverage or funding programs. Now, let's think about life beyond your front door. Maintaining connections with your community, attending appointments, going shopping, or visiting friends is vital for well-being. But what happens when driving is no longer safe or possible, or when navigating public transport becomes too difficult due to physical limitations? This is where dedicated transportation services for seniors and people with disabilities become invaluable. Losing the ability to drive can feel like a major loss of freedom, leading to isolation. However, many communities offer alternatives specifically designed to fill this gap. One common option is paratransit service. These are typically van or small bus services that provide door-to-door or curb-to-curb transportation for individuals whose disabilities prevent them from using the regular fixed-route public transit system. You usually need to apply and be deemed eligible, and rides often need to be scheduled in advance. Another wonderful resource available in many areas is volunteer driver programs. Often run by senior centers, nonprofits, or faith-based organizations, these programs utilize volunteers who use their own cars to take seniors to essential appointments, grocery stores, or sometimes even social engagements. The cost is often minimal, perhaps just covering the volunteer's mileage. Senior shuttles or buses might operate on fixed routes connecting key locations like senior housing, shopping centers, medical facilities, and community centers. And increasingly, ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft are exploring options or partnerships to better serve seniors, sometimes offering specialized assistance or specific programs. Eleanor, an 82-year-old widow, had always been socially active. When macular degeneration forced her to give up driving, she felt her world shrink dramatically. She missed her weekly bridge game, her book club, and visits to her sister across town. A friend told her about a local volunteer driver program. After registering, Eleanor found she could schedule rides reliably for her essential trips and her cherished social activities. Knowing she had a safe and affordable way to get around restored her confidence and brought her back into the social fold she so dearly missed. Finding these services often involves contacting your local area agency on Aging Senior Center or dialing 211 if available in your area, which connects you to community services. Don't hesitate to inquire. Staying mobile and connected is crucial. Of course, many of these supports, home care, modifications, technology, even transportation, come with associated costs. This brings us to the often complex but essential area of financial assistance programs. It's a reality that managing health conditions and disabilities can strain finances, especially on a fixed income. Thankfully, various government and nonprofit programs exist to help alleviate this burden, though navigating them can sometimes feel like a job in itself. Depending on your situation, you might be eligible for federal programs like Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, If you have a qualifying work history and a disability expected to last at least a year, or Supplemental Security Income, SSI, which is needs-based. Medicare, the federal health insurance program primarily for those 65 and older, covers many hospital and medical costs, but its coverage for long-term home care is limited. Medicaid, a joint federal and state program, is needs-based and often provides more extensive coverage for long-term care, including home and community-based services through specific waiver programs designed to keep people out of nursing homes. Eligibility rules for Medicaid vary significantly by state. Veterans may be eligible for a range of benefits through the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, including health care, disability compensation, pensions, and aid for attendant care or home modifications. Beyond these major federal programs, look into state-specific assistance programs, local property tax relief options for seniors or those with disabilities, prescription assistance programs, both government and pharmaceutical company-sponsored, and grants from non-profit organizations that focus on specific conditions, like the MS Society or Parkinson's Foundation, or needs like home accessibility. Utility companies sometimes offer discounted rates or energy assistance programs. The key takeaway here is that help often exists, but finding it and qualifying for it requires persistence and asking the right questions. Don't be discouraged by the complexity. Seek assistance from knowledgeable sources. Hospital social workers, case managers from home care agencies, benefits counselors at your local area agency on aging or independent living center, or elder law attorneys can be invaluable guides in identifying potential sources of financial aid and navigating the application processes. Securing financial assistance can make the difference between being able to afford necessary care or equipment and going without, significantly impacting your quality of life and peace of mind. Finally, but certainly no less importantly, we must address social and emotional support. Living with a disability, especially one that develops later in life, can bring significant emotional challenges. Feelings of frustration, loss, anxiety about the future, or loneliness are common and understandable. Physical limitations can sometimes lead to social isolation if getting out becomes difficult, or if communication is impaired. It is absolutely crucial to nurture your mental and emotional well-being alongside your physical health. Support groups can be incredibly beneficial. Connecting with others who are facing similar challenges, whether it's a group for people with arthritis, vision loss, Parkinson's, or caregivers, provides a space where you can share experiences, exchange practical coping strategies, and realize you are not alone. Hearing how others manage similar difficulties can be both validating and informative. Senior centers often host a wide range of social activities, classes, and clubs, providing opportunities for engagement and connection in a supportive environment. Consider seeking out companion programs or friendly visitor programs, where volunteers spend time with seniors offering conversation and companionship, helping to alleviate loneliness. If you're struggling with persistent sadness, anxiety, or difficulty coping, don't hesitate to explore professional counseling or therapy. Many therapists specialize in working with older adults and understand the unique challenges associated with aging and disability. Sometimes just talking through your feelings with an objective, supportive professional can make a tremendous difference. Maintaining connections with family and friends is, of course, paramount. Be open with them about your needs and how they can best support you. Technology can also play a role here, with video calls helping you stay connected with loved ones who live far away. David, who lost much of his sight due to glaucoma, initially felt adrift and depressed. Joining a local support group for the visually impaired changed his perspective. He met others who shared tips on adaptive technology, navigating public transport, and simply understanding the day-to-day frustrations. More than that, he found friendship and a sense of community that reminded him his life was far from over. It was just different. Remember, tending to your emotional needs is not a luxury. It's an essential part of managing your overall health and well-being when living with a disability. Reaching out for social and emotional support is a sign of resilience. These areas, home care, modifications and technology, transportation, financial aid, and social/emotional support, represent the core pillars of the support system available to you. They often intertwine and work best when considered together as part of a holistic plan tailored to your unique circumstances. It might take some effort to research options and coordinate services, but the potential payoff in terms of improved safety, independence, and quality of life is immense. So, we've journeyed together through the landscape of support available for seniors navigating disabilities. We started by acknowledging the commonality of these experiences, the mix of emotions they can bring, and the fundamental truth that facing limitations does not mean facing defeat. We then explored the practical tools and resources that form a vital support network, aiming to empower you with knowledge and possibilities. Let's take a moment now to gather those threads, reflect on their deeper meaning, and look towards the future with a sense of hope and agency. In our main discussion, we delved into several crucial areas of support. Remember the importance of home and community-based services? These are the helping hands that allow you to remain in your cherished home environment, providing assistance tailored to your specific needs, whether it's help with demanding household chores, preparing meals, personal care like bathing and dressing, or even medication reminders, and basic health monitoring. The goal here isn't to take over, but to supplement your own abilities, bridging the gap created by physical or cognitive challenges, thereby preserving your energy, safety, and independence right where you feel most comfortable. We heard how someone like Martha rediscovered her vitality when relieved of tasks that had become burdensome, freeing her to engage in life again. This kind of support truly underscores the idea that home can remain home even when circumstances change. We also explored the significant impact of home modifications and assistive technology. This is about adapting your surroundings and utilizing clever tools to enhance safety and capability. Simple changes like installing grab bars in the bathroom, improving lighting, securing rugs, or using lever door handles can make an enormous difference in preventing falls and making daily movement easier. And then there's the remarkable world of assistive devices, from walkers and wheelchairs that aid mobility to magnifiers and audiobooks for vision loss, sophisticated hearing aids, amplified phones, medication dispensers, and personal emergency response systems that offer invaluable peace of mind. We saw how a stair lift gave George back access to his entire home, transforming his quality of life. These adaptations, often guided by professionals like occupational therapists, demonstrate that the environment can often be adjusted to fit your needs rather than you having to constantly struggle against it. Recognizing that life extends beyond your doorstep, we discussed the necessity of accessible transportation services. When driving is no longer an option, services like paratransit, volunteer driver programs, and senior shuttles become lifelines. They ensure you can still attend vital medical appointments, go grocery shopping, visit loved ones, and participate in community activities that nourish your spirit. Losing the ability to drive can feel profoundly isolating. But as Eleanor discovered with her local volunteer driver program, these services can effectively bridge that gap, keeping you connected to the people and places that matter. preventing isolation, and maintaining your social engagement, which is so crucial for well-being. We acknowledged the practical reality that accessing support often involves costs, leading us to the complex but vital area of financial assistance programs. Whether it's leveraging benefits from Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, with its specific waiver programs for home care, or VA benefits for veterans, understanding your potential eligibility is key. We also touched upon state and local programs, prescription assistance, nonprofit grants, and utility relief. While navigating these systems can feel daunting, remember that resources like area agencies on aging, social workers, and benefits counselors exist precisely to help you understand your options and guide you through the application processes. Securing financial aid can be the deciding factor in accessing necessary care, equipment, or modifications, making a tangible difference in your daily life and reducing financial stress. Finally, and perhaps most fundamentally, we emphasized the critical importance of social and emotional support. Living with a disability impacts more than just your physical body. It touches your heart and mind. Connecting with others through support groups provides validation, shared strategies, and a sense of community, reminding you that you aren't alone in your journey. Senior centers offer hubs for activity and connection. Companion programs combat loneliness, and professional counseling provides a safe space to process feelings of grief, frustration, or anxiety. Nurturing these connections, whether with peers, family, friends, or professionals, is not an indulgence, but an essential component of holistic well-being. David's experience in his support group highlights how finding community can reignite purpose and perspective. Tending to your emotional health provides the resilience needed to navigate the practical challenges. Now, stepping back from these specific supports, what broader perspective can we gain? Perhaps the most important shift is one of mindset. It's about moving from viewing disability solely as a loss towards seeing it as a different way of being, one that requires adaptation, resourcefulness, and a willingness to accept new ways of doing things. Life inevitably brings changes, particularly as we live longer, fuller lives. Our bodies change, our energy levels shift, our senses may dull slightly. Integrating a disability into your life is, in many ways, an extension of this natural process of adaptation that defines aging itself. It requires acknowledging the challenges honestly, without minimizing them, but also actively seeking solutions and focusing on the abilities that remain. This process often involves redefining what independence means. It doesn't have to mean doing absolutely everything for yourself without any help. Instead, it can mean having control over your choices, directing your own care, and utilizing available resources to live the life you want to live according to your own values. Accepting help, whether from a family member, a paid caregiver, or a community service, isn't a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of wisdom and self-awareness. It's recognizing that interdependence, relying on each other, is a fundamental part of the human experience at every stage of life. Reaching out for and accepting support allows you to conserve your energy for the activities and relationships that bring you joy and meaning. There's immense power in becoming an informed consumer of these services. Knowledge truly is empowering. By understanding the types of help available, the home care options, the assistive technologies, the transportation services, the potential financial aid, you gain options. You move from feeling potentially overwhelmed or helpless to feeling equipped to make choices that enhance your life. It might require persistence. You might need to make phone calls, ask questions, perhaps even advocate for yourself, or enlist help from family or professionals to navigate the systems. But taking those steps, however small they may seem, puts you back in the driver's seat, actively shaping your circumstances rather than passively reacting to them. Remember the resilience you've already demonstrated throughout your life. You've navigated countless challenges, learned new skills, adapted to changing circumstances, and overcome obstacles. Those same inner resources, your strength, your wisdom, your capacity for adaptation, are still within you. Facing a disability is another chapter where these strengths can shine. Focus on what you can do, celebrate the small victories, and be patient and compassionate with yourself on days that feel more difficult. Your worth as a person is inherent and unchanging, completely independent of your physical or cognitive abilities. You still have so much to offer, so much to experience, and so much life to live. Find ways to maintain a sense of purpose. This might mean adapting hobbies, finding new interests that are accessible to you, volunteering in a capacity that suits your abilities, mentoring others, or simply focusing on nurturing your relationships. Purpose looks different for everyone, and it can change over time. The key is to find activities and connections that make you feel engaged, valued, and alive. Even with limitations, joy, laughter, learning, and meaningful connections are entirely possible and profoundly important. Don't let the challenges overshadow the enduring potential for happiness and fulfillment. So, as we conclude our conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. Living with a disability as a senior presents real challenges, yes, but it also opens avenues for discovering new strengths, deeper connections, and innovative ways to live fully. The support systems we've discussed are there to be utilized, to act as scaffolding that helps you maintain your safety, dignity, and quality of life. Embrace the help that's available. Advocate for your needs, nurture your emotional well-being, and never underestimate your own resilience. You are navigating a unique path, but you are not walking it alone. There is a community of support around you, and within you lies the enduring capacity to adapt, to find meaning, and to continue your journey with courage and hope. Your life, in all its evolving richness, continues to matter deeply.